today I am getting ready for some quilty fun. Show you a little bit of my tips, maybe even my tricks. I don't know, it depends. You might have the same tricks and tips, or tips and tricks. I am putting on my walking foot. Baby Lot calls it something else. Dual feet, I think they call it. All right. So we're going to put that on. And I am going to actually use some different thread here. And I'm going to wind one bobbin just in case if we run out. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see what I could do here. All right. Actually, I am going to put none right now. Good morning, Melanie. Because I think these have different bobbins. But what I am going to use is some of the glow-in-the-dark thread. This is Wonderfill glow-in-the-dark thread. And I had 2 of these. And let's see. I hope the other one is in here. Because if not, I don't know what happened to the second one. I know I didn't use it because I wanted to use it on quilting on this. Oh boy. Let's see what I could have done with it. Well, we have enough to at least start. Let me see if it's on the actual long arm. Oh, here it is. Found it. It's on the long arm. All right. So, Annette, I boxed the sewing machine. I boxed the chef's hats and also a little bit of fabric, because who doesn't need a little fabric to kind of cushion everything? So let me see. Let me change my chat to all. And here we are. So good morning, Melanie. Getting ready for class. Good morning, Annette. Good morning, Deb. Everyone's saying their mornings. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Nellie. Good morning, ladies. Got to get to my kiddo up. Absolutely. So the next step is, now that I've packed everything and the giveaway, I just have to get to the post office. So now why do I have 2 threads? Well, this looks like the end of the spool. So, well, we're going to put that there. And we are going, I'm going to put that here. So I am going to quilt with this on my domestic machine, right? I used it on my long arm. It worked out great. And I'm going to only use this as the top since I'm running out and I have a couple of projects I'd like to do. Good morning, Barb. I received the package from you yesterday. Thank you very much. Oh, no problem. I'm glad you got it. Oh, you got yours too, Melanie? I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So these 2, we're going to have different techniques going on. You know what? Let's go ahead and do some regular, nothing fancy here. Look, I didn't even close my little safety pins. So these are curved safety pins. And I just kind of am putting everything, like sandwiched everything together. So here's my safety pins on there. And then I have my batting and my backing. I'm going to move actually all this out of my well here. So we're going to go ahead and I would actually just like to do swirls on this. This is not free motion quilting. Part of me wants to stick this on my long arm to do this in swirls. And then part of me just wants to outline this. So, you know what? Let's go with outlining first. I'm going to just outline, and I'm going to start somewhere where maybe your eye doesn't catch. So I just come in here and I move all this. So I have a nice smooth surface. And I put down, now this actually has a tie off. Okay. I don't know why that did that. Okay, let's try that again. I think I hit the wrong button. As you can see, I don't machine, I'm trying to get it right in the point. So I'm going to put that down, put that up. I'm holding my tail, and it didn't pull anything up. Let's try that again. There we go. So I have my tail, and look, it tied it. It tied it without me wanting to tie it. You know what else I'm going to use? So if you have a dual feed, they come with different feet. So this is a regular foot that you would see. Oh, you got your package too? Great. And then this one is a 1/4 inch. And I actually did buy something new and haven't used it at market last year. And this is a stitch in the ditch one. And I haven't used it. So you know what? We're going to be stitching in the ditch. So let's see. Let's see what happens with it. All right. So I have that centered right in the spot. I'm going to go back down. And then I'm going to tilt this. Now let's see if these safety pins stay in my way. So I have, no, let's see. I have my machine set at a 2.5. And you know what's also good? These dollar store gloves. These dollar store gloves are great. Good morning, Candace. So we're going to put these on. All right. I have all these threads that I'm going to have to clip. And this, we're going to just take our time. And while we take our time, let's, I hope everyone, some of you are not on here because you are facing your own crisis. And just know that your quilting family is thinking of you. And let us know if you need anything. Because I'm sure if you need something, we have something. And like Annette, like I told you, I've got yours packed. I just have to take it to the post office. And this week, I only have today to do what I need to do, but it may have to be Monday, just to give you the heads up. I'm going to try to get it to the post office today, but my post office closes early. I get off of school late, and I have to set up my, I'm the business or the artist of the month at our bank, so I've got to do that. There's so much I got to do. But in any case, we are also leaving. We are also leaving out of town for just a day. Tomorrow we have, no, what's today? Today's Tuesday. Oh, today's Tuesday, so I have time. We're leaving tomorrow night. I have something to do with my daughter, and we have off on Thursday. I'm still under the weather, but not so bad. I'm tested negative. What else is going on here? So let me know. Let's see. I have a question. I just got to think of it. What is that? Hello. I've seen that name before, Deb. So maybe. So yesterday was on soft squares for a little bit. And I was talking with my daughter. My daughter was the reason why I had to get off the first and second time. Everything's okay there. But I had to deal, you know, I had to do some stuff. I am packing. I'm packing my stuff, which I haven't packed. I'm doing laundry this morning. So let's see. What? I had a question this morning and then I forgot to write it down. Oh, I know what it is. Well, we talked about what is your favorite movie all time. So now I'm deciding whether I want to tie this off. You know what? I don't. I think what I want to do is, I haven't figured out you know what? I think I'm going to go and do like his face. So we're going to tie that off. I have a tie off button and then I'm going to cut that. So I have now my little ghosty part done. And now I'm going to come in here because, right, this is glow in the dark thread. So it's going to be spooky. Put my needle down and needle up. Again, this is the way I do things and it didn't pick up my bottom. So we're going to go for it again. We did your favorite food and we did your favorite fruit. Oh, okay. You know what? We're just going to tie it off. That's fine. It's want to be pesky. If you don't have a tie off button, you should pull your thread up so it doesn't nest at the bottom. But I do know my tie off works out great. So we're going to go with that. We did what kind of games we like to play. And we kind of did what kind of shows we watch. How about what is your favorite flower, right? I don't know. You may not have a favorite flower. I like to garden. Maybe not doing as great with the eyes as I did with the body. So yes, what's your favorite flower? I have so many. I love lilacs when they first come in here. With all the shades of purple. I just love that. And then that's my spring flower, right? I'm tying off and I'm cutting. Then, like this time of the year, I love zinnias. As a matter of fact, my honey and I had our little cake decorated with zinnias. So I like zinnias. I love all the different colors they come in. And a potted, you know, one of those potted plants that sometimes you get for your house. I do love me a Gerber daisy. They kind of remind me of zinnias. Not to say I don't love roses, because I love purple roses. That's, if I had to pick a rose color, I love those lavender tea roses. I love the way they smell. I love the color. I'm going to move that so I can see what I'm doing. I'm almost to the last bit. And let's see, winter flowers. I don't know if I even have a winter flower. I think that's when I buy roses, is in the winter, because I like to pick my flowers, or pick flowers. There we are. We have the eyes now. Because when this glows in the dark, this would be cool to glow with the body and the eyes and the mouth, I think. There we are. So this little blade actually does help you stay within task. I don't think I really ever used that for quilting before. So if you have a dual feed, I kind of like this little attachment. I think these attachments were like $30 if someone does have a dual feed and you want to add feet to it. All right, so we have the face. I did the tie-offs. And we have our ghost. So now I want to frame our ghost. So we're going to come in here and give him a lot of different frames. And then I'm going to show you one of my binding hacks that I found it. I just randomly found this technique on my own. There may be other people out there that do it and I just didn't know about it. But I was horsing around one day thinking, what am I going to use for my binding? I have all those things we get in our sampler boxes to wind our binding on, which is great. You know, they're great for storage. I've even used them to try to put binding on. But one day I did so much binding, it was just recently, and I ran out of all those like binding things that I had gotten from the different boxes. And I'm going to show you after this because I don't want to spoil the surprise. But I was like, oh, I have a bunch of these that I saved for the art teacher. And I said, let me use this for right now to put on all these bindings I had. So, what is that? All right. And so I started winding my bindings on them, and then I was putting my bindings on, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that I just figured this out now, and why didn't I know this so long ago? Because it changed my whole binding experience. Binding is not my favorite thing to do, and it changed it. All right, so I framed it. Now I'm going to come in and frame this piece as well. And so I'm going to come in and put in my spot. And then let's go see what kind of flowers you like. And just, now this is going to be in its way. So I'm going to pull this out. Anything that's in your way, just pull it on out. I don't like to use safety pins, honestly, to tell you, because they leave big gashes in your material. I know it goes away, but I just don't like the temporary hole it makes. All right. So now after the flowers, I could say, what favorite time of the year do you like, the flowers, like if you're a gardener, like when your flowers come up. But that's kind of like, that's a hard thing, because if you're a gardener, you've planted your garden probably for all different seasons with all your favorite flowers in it. Hence why I have all those favorite flowers. And when I make bouquets, I love it when I mix the lilacs with the forsythia, because it's a yellow flower and they bloom about the same time here. And I just love that combo. Oh, yesterday also, I got my sampler box. It had been stuck in some place forever. I'm probably like the last person who received, one of the last people to receive their sampler box. And we're not opening it up today. And then last night, right before I went to bed, I noticed that everyone was getting their spooky boxes, and their spooky boxes were they were opening their spooky boxes on their channels, and it was nice. It was nice, but I like, believe it or not, I'm happy with everything that was sent to me to distract me from getting the spooky box. It's super cute. I would have made the quilt, but I do like all the things that were sent to me and the options almost better. So my FOMO isn't, or not FOMO, I always say FOMO. My FOMO isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Still a little jealous, but, you know, like I had some of that stuff. Like I didn't need this. Oh, I'm not going to say what's in there because you guys probably maybe have not watched it. So I'm not going to be the spoiler, but it was neat. So this is the deal. I have the ghost, the eyes, this first one, this second one, and I think I may just do this last pass and then be done. Because remember, binding is going to go on here, so it'll do the last bit. And then we can go right to the binding hack of mine. And it's really a binding hack to store your binding in, but it's great to help you put it on as well. So I'm teasing you, Paul. So, oh, one of the quilting hacks is the gloves. The dollar gloves at Dollar Tree. Or probably any dollar store. Really. That's the one thing about the dual feed versus a walking foot from another sewing machine. I feel they're a little bit more bulky. And when you pin, you have to consider that. So here we are. And actually, my spool is almost about ready to go out. So this is actually, I hope I make it. I'm playing, not bobbin chicken, but thread chicken right now. I think I will. One more. I'm a little off. I'm not perfect. I'm telling you right now, when you see this, these are not perfect. Oops. Yeah. These are not perfect straight quilting in the ditch lines. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to finish this off with my regular hands. Tie this off, and then let's go to the next thing. So here we are. Here is my lines. Here is my back. And we'll deal with this later. All right, so binding trick here. Let me pull these out. And I do have a container for these. All right. So here it is. These are my long arm spools, and I just roll my binding on there. That I discovered the other day, and this has really kind of changed my whole life. It's a little bulky right where it goes out, but wait till you see how wonderful it glides. And I have a very little bit of this left, but there's enough on here for my mug rugs and my other things. So let's come and see what everybody's up to, because I've been in here. You guys have been chatting. Thank you so much for all the chat. They look at that. At the end of these lives, I get like what my chat rate is and if it was a good chat. Oh, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Hi from India. And then, oh, a Lily. Oh, Iris. I love, yes, Iris is. I have some from my mom before she sold her house, I transplanted some here, and it's a hit and miss. Some years they pop off great, and some years they don't. A lily, I have thousands of lilies, Candace. My whole front yard is full of orange tiger lilies. They grow like weeds here, so you actually have to rip them out. Daisies and carnations, that's beautiful, Deb. Ooh, gardenia. A gardenia is a nice thing. Love the smell of lilacs. What's a peacock? I'm saying that wrong. Pikake. I have no idea what that is. I love, I'm going to say love lavender because it grows without much help from me. Ooh, lavender smells so good too. Just had a few days to do with these. Howdy, everyone. I hope, oh, hi, Andrea. I hope you're having a great day too. Did you get your box yet? We'll see. Morning, Deb. I am finishing my final row of my butterfly quilt. Yes, go to Deb's channel. If you, I know you all know who Deb is. Deb is the Pug Mama Quilter. Go to her and check out her community tab. Her picture is up for the butterfly quilt. It's beautiful. I'm excited. Wow. And I can't get over how big it turned out, Andrea. I had in my mind that it would be smaller. Leanna, the quilt kit arrived. Here we go. This is the answer. The quilt kit arrived last Friday. Wow, that was really fast then, because it didn't say until, it said it wasn't going to get to you until Tuesday, which would have been today. I'm excited to put it together, and I have the other things ahead of it, but I may get moved up. It may get moved up on the list. I got my sew sampler yesterday. They had to resend it to me because it got damaged the first time. Deb, I did mine even larger than the pattern. I added the extra row and column. So when I did it, I've got to find it. I put no blocks in between, so I just use the butterfly block, and then I messed it up. So I forgot to put that little center block in. It's fine, in 30s, it's in there. But after looking at yours, I wish I didn't put mine together because I love, love, love how you put the block, the solid block of fabric in between. And I kind of like that. I don't know, I have to look at it again. I think that in my mind, I was making them as I went with 30s fabric. So I may be able to unpick it all and then put those blocks in between because you gave me a lot of food for thought about it. If it's done with a border and everything, it's getting quilted. Oh, I was just thinking you're such a tease. The orange are my favorite. Katie ID, the fun. It's a Hawaiian flower. Oh, okay. Good morning, Yosenia. Wow, you're up super early. Oh, 4:30. I was up at 4 today. Nice goes, thank you. Thank you. And welcome to our morning chat and whatnot. That happens here. Okay, so let's get this going. So here is the quilt that I am going to put the binding on. This is the back, just in case if you were wondering. There we are. All right, so I need to thread. So we are going to, do I want to use, what did I use here? I used like a gray. And then back here, I used the black. So I'm going to come in here and say that we are going to use a white on the top. Because that's, I have like a, oh, you know what I have? I could use, I can go ahead and use this. Look at that. We'll use some of that. I think that would be cool. And then, yes, we'll do that. Actually, I have to use up these bobbins. for my long arm. So we're gonna start by putting this on. I was up at 3:30. Ooh. So I'm gonna use this for top stitching, but to just attach the binding right now, I'm going to use up these leftover bobbins because they're black. It's fine. I'm putting on black binding, so this will be good. And then I could free up these. So if you have a long arm, good trick here. I just put them right on here and use them up so that they get empty and I don't waste any kind of thread. So now I'm going to switch this from this foot to this 1/4 inch. Wow. Wait, what? Just reminded me I had a random dream last night about gray thread. Sheila, gray thread? What are you sewing with gray thread? All right, so I do find that doing the Michael Jackson with the one glove and this hand, I like this hand free, and I put this one hand on here. So look at this. This literally just rolls right off of this. Just rolls right off of this. Let's see. How can we get you to see this? That's the, maybe move you this way. Let's see if that works. You let me know if that's good. So here is my binding. Now I'm doing straight, I did not do the binding where it's, how do you explain it? I did kind of economy binding. And economy binding is where you join the binding strips together just in a single line, not a diagonal line. I hope I explained that. And so when I do the diagonal, I actually have a binder tool that I use. Okay, so because this is economy, I'm just, oh, another thing. You have to flip the quilt to the back. Let's do that. All right, I come in and leave a tail. I don't know why I start at the side. Everybody does their binding differently. If I don't do my binding the way you do, it's totally fine. Binding is a personal thing. So I put in a couple of stitches and then I go back and then I come in. Are you being able to see this kind of? And the reason I like this glove, which you probably are not seeing, is because I grip this down. And I like this hand free because I mess with my binding and I don't like the glove. But as you can see, it's just rolling right off of this. It's not getting tangled on the floor. It's not like, you know, those binding tools, they flip, they like blip, blip, blip. And then sometimes they get a little bit wonky and they start, I can't explain it. It does weird things, but it's better than it being on the floor when I use those tools that they gave us in all those boxes. But this works so much better. And I like the cost. The cost is free. It's from your cone thread, if you have cone thread. If you don't have cone thread, maybe it's worth it to buy yourself, go to a yard sale, find yourself a cone thread and throw out the thread just to use the cone. So now I'm a 1/4 inch in. I did a back tack. I'm lifting up my needle. This is just my way of doing it. And then I come and bring this forward. And again, I make my mitered binding. There's many videos. I know you can't see this right now. So I flip this all the way out here. And then I flip it back. And this is right here. So I can move this spool wherever I want. And then I can come in here and take a pin, just like this. And I come in about 1/4 inch. And I just put it right through. And I move everything. I just said that. I just did something strange. Here we are. Now, it's the mitered corners, right, that get you each and every time. And 1/4 inch, and I pull out my pin, and then I come in. But as you can see, my binding is coming right off this spool without any issues. And I found this out just because I ran out of all those binder holders that I had. I think I have like 3 or 4 binder holders from the different boxes over the years. What would happen with those binder holders when I was doing it, but still better than it being all thrown on the floor for me, was it would like get weirdly spiraled. And this doesn't. This kind of just stays right there, right in that spot. Okay, so I'm coming close again to where it's going to be 1/4 inch, and I just slow down. I lift up. Again, some people cut their threads. You do what works out best for you. Okay, so at this point, because I'm a little bit more fussy, I'll take off my glove. And again, I will put this in where, round about where my 1/4 inch will be. Put back my glove on, move my spool, and I did it again. What did I do with my spool? There it is. Every time I do that, I do something to my spool. But still better than what I've dealt with. Pull that out. So as you can see, my spool is nice and neat. Everything is exactly where it should be. I know that people have these things that you can wear on your neck, and I don't know. All that stuff, I don't want to wear anything on my neck. So when I did this the other day and saw how well this worked, I said, oh, I've got to show someone. Sorry if my content is a little boring right now. Let's see. What can I ask you? So last night, honey and I played sequence and no backgammon. What are you going to make for dinner tonight? So my honey brought home boneless pork chops, and they're really pork loin, from the supermarket. So that's what I have in my fridge right now. So if you have a favorite pork loin chop recipe, let us know what it is, because maybe that's what I'll make tonight if I have everything. There we are. Okay. I just really put that pin there just so that I can turn this and keep everything in its spot. Uh-oh, this is what always happens to me. At the end, I get so nervous with the binding. Will I have enough binding for this project? I actually do have another 2.5, actually two 2.5 inch strips of this binding left. So if I should run out. Because honestly, I don't do all the math. I just make an approximate. Oh, okay, this looks like it needs one this way, one that way, a half here, add there. I really don't measure my binding out. I probably should. Okay, coming towards the end. Here we are. And now I'm coming to the end. So now you'll see what I'm doing here. I am not the expert on binding. I'm just showing you a hack. Again, I'm just showing you a hack that I found just recently, just messing around. People get very touchy with binding. The police come out with the binding. Now, I'm going to stop right here, back tack, and then actually cut my thread, because we're going to move over a bit. So, move my glove. There's no science to me doing this. There's so many ways to do this. I just kind of come in here. When I do this, my other one, I have a binding tool. I sew everything. Everything comes out great. I'll just put this in my 2.5-inch strip. I'll re-iron it out. And this is all I used. Just the regular. This one is Superior Threads King Tut. This is just King Tut comb. That one happens to be a King Tut comb. So I just come in here, and I know this isn't right. This is just me. I come in here and butt these two things together. Right? And there's one or two things you can do. Today, maybe I'll be a little bit, maybe today I'll actually take my time. Sometimes I get lazy and I just stick my pin in here like this, right? And then just do this and sew right on the pin, because that's when I'm like the lazy side of me comes out. I feel like it turns out fine. I'm okay with it. I know that would drive some people nuts. So I would come here. Oh, you know what? That's going to drive me nuts, because there's, look at that. There's a seam right there. So that's not cool. I don't want that seam there. Let's see if I can fudge it. Yes, I can. Okay, so here we are. I just moved it. And I'm going to take, and there we are. That's just a piece of chalk. Just a piece of chalk. Now I'm going to come in here. So see, sometimes I don't open this like you should open it to put your binding together. But today I'm going to do it right. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Why am I going to lie? Because, you know, there are other ways of doing things. I take those two lines carefully and match them. As careful as one can be, right? I mean, in all this, we're going to probably fudge it either here or there. My way of quilting is not to be so stressed. So I put that pin right where that chalk line is. Yep, there, right where that chalk line is. And I open it up. And I'm sure there are easier ways. I know there are easier ways to do this. And I'm going to come in here. Put this down. Pull out my pin, because I'm just going to I hate I will tell you this, I do hate sometimes using my dual feed on this because it takes a bit for it to grab onto behind there. Behind this dual feed is, okay, we're going to take this out completely. I'm cutting this off. I'm aborting this mission for a second. Behind the dual feed is a rubber gasket thing. And sometimes it takes, and I'm going to rip that off. That was that piece that I said. I didn't want that in my quilt. All right, here we are. All right, let's cross our fingers that it wants to go in the dual feed. When you have your regular foot on there, it's not as difficult as this. I'm just not switching everything. There it goes. Now, I look at it and make sure that it's not too tight before I do anything. So it's too tight. See how it buckles? I'm showing you my mistakes because this is the only way I learned. It's the only way you're going to learn. See how this thing is more buckled than this? That means I have it too tight. So this is what we do. We take the little bit of extra time. We come in here. We, may have a couple of choice words to say to this binding at this moment, right? But we're gonna come in here and we're gonna rip that. That's all. 2 seconds and a couple of words. That's all. And I'm gonna come in here again because apparently I did something. So here we are. Take my pin again. I'm sure there's an easier way to this. When you're on camera too, I swear it's like they go, ooh, I do this so many times and do not have all these issues. But today, yes, today I am going to have the issues. Oops. And I know it's going to give me issues because there it is. Oh, it's going to go. The differential feed is going to go. All right, here we are. Now I'm going to do it again. And pray. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we're good now. We are good. There we are. We are good. I will come in here and I will cut this 1/4 inch away. I will finger press this open. Right, I'm just going to finger press this open and I'm going to fold it. And then where we see like all my chalk marks, that'll wipe off with some water, but it's going to be hidden anyway because we have to fold this over. So now I come in and I do want to get my glove on. It helps me move things along. Here we are. So now, at this point, I actually take this to my iron and I press, whatever you want to say. I take this and put an iron to this, and then I come in, and you know what? We'll put the iron on. I'll use this little pad. I mean, it works always much better with the big iron, but just to kind of give you an idea. So I take this piece here, and we're going to start from the top. And I just come in and kind of press this. All the way down. And an hour goes by so quick. Can't believe the time. Some people don't do this. It's just something that I like to do. And I would do this all the way around. And then I would come once, we'll pretend that it's all the way around. I come in here and I put my binding on and I take a handful of clips, all right? I know you can use glue, you can use that, this, that, the other. Yeah, okay. I don't even do that. I just iron and I come in and I iron and I put a clip on there. And I come in here and this, all these little things, I tuck them in. I had all these things to show you different ways to bind, because I have another way to bind, which is where you just pull over the binding from the back to the front. But I've run out of time. So I just come in here and put my clips in all the way down, and then you can do one of two things. You can use a decorative stitch, you can use a straight stitch. It all depends on what mood I'm in that morning. I'm not gonna lie, this is not my favorite part, but you know what? It is kind of soothing in a way, because you know then your quilt is done for. I was hoping to get this on so I could bring it to school today. It's not gonna happen. I've run out of time. But you see what I'm going to do. I'm going to iron the back. I have a nice, and then I would come in and straight stitch on the front. So let's put this here. I'm going to shut this off. And let's see what we got going on. It's because it's because you are doing it on camera, which is always the thing. All right, so we were up to Yesenia. She was with us. Binding is my nemesis. Nothing at the moment. Your Michael Jackson comment cracked me up. Yep, that's what we do. I bet you can give a base to a pill bottle and use that. Yeah, you probably could. I bet you could glue a base to a pill bottle and use that. You're so right. I had this out for a second, and then I had the binding on this, and that works too. You could just put. I tried putting the binding up through this and down, and that wasn't so hot. But I will say having this base does help. But I just ended up then just using that. I was using all kinds of things that day. I had a lot of binding to do. I bought 2 from Donnell. Oh, what do you mean you bought 2 from Donnell? Her husband and son make them, and they are so cute. I'll probably order a couple. They make these? I'll have to look that up. I guess if you don't have a long arm cone, you can, get them at Donnell has a website. So go to her website then. This just came from, I actually saved these for the art teacher. And then when I saw the whole basket sitting there, I was like, oh, I could put binding on there. Okay, well then, go see Donnell Stitchery. She has a website, and I know that they're making 3D things, but I thought they were like little sewing machines and stuff. So she must have a binding tool that's close to it. Candace says chicken tenders. This is our 24th anniversary, so I'm making pork chops, baked potatoes, asparagus, and salad for dinner. Yeah, ours was last Friday. I think I will use a block of wood and put a dowel rod or screw in the middle to hold the spool and let it spin without moving on me. Yeah, that's why I had this out for a bit. That's funny that you said that, because I guess happy anniversary. Can't say that I do, but leftover pork tenderloin is good in fried rice. Oh, that is good. I've done that, Sheila. That's super yummy. I make a cranberry glaze for my pork chops. I sear them first, then finish them in the oven with the glaze. Mmm. It's leftover chicken rice soup for me. Well, yesterday I had pea soup. It was leftover pea soup for lunch for me. I like pork chops, pan fried, rice, black beans, and pico de gallo salsa with chopped mango. So we had all that yesterday minus the pork chops. We did it with turkey. That sounds good, Yesenia. And last night ours was good. I did not have the chopped mango, but what I did have was avocado. So we put avocado on ours. Connecting Thread has a sale on Superior Threads. I think Connecting Threads has the best sales on threads. Okay, bye, Annette. What was that ripper? Oh, that's my other hack. I have to do a whole video on hacks, right? I use this. So in Puerto Rico, and I want to say in a lot of cultures, I want to say here too, there's a lot of reusing because on the island, there is no way to get stuff. So growing up in my house, anything that you bought got reused, like all back then when margarine was the craze. That was your Tupperware, right? Crocs. What is that brown one? That brown margarine that comes in something called Country Crock was your Tupperware. And so in my mind, my mindset, even like the olive jars became spice. You know, we just used everything. So that's where this came from. That's one of my hacks, right? That I just found accidentally. This thing. This is actually my newer one. My other one was pink. And it still works. It's just, I lost it and then I just found it. And where it was in one of my, traveling. You know how I travel all the time and I make all these little kits and then, yeah. So I bought 2 of these on Amazon for, I think, $10. The original one came from Burlington Coat Factory or Marshall's. They cost about $5. And it is supposed to be for your eyebrows, yes, to shape your eyebrows and intimate areas is what hey, not me. I'm just saying that's what it's labeled as, is a personal trimmer. And I one day decided that let me see if this works on a seam repping because I don't know what I was watching, but they were using these men's clippers, like the men's hair clippers and mustache. I don't know. They're big and clunky. And they were using it to seam rep. And I thought, oh, that's great. That was right. That's what I remember when I was at the festival last year, the International Festival. There's all these gadgets and gizmos. And I'm watching everybody seam ripping with those things. And I'm thinking, that is so clunky. And I said, I wonder if an eyebrow trimmer works. And I came home. I bought one because I didn't have one. And yeah, it works great. The only thing is you want to make sure the trimmer is like this. Let's see. Can you see that? Let's see if it goes. You see how it has it like that? Because this is one that actually cuts, but it doesn't cut your fabric. It cuts the threads. I just kind of quickly do it like this. Here, let me see if I have another thing that I can see if there's a piece. No, of course they wouldn't be because I wanted to show you and I don't have anything that's stitched right now. Well, anyway, I'll do an in-depth. So this thing is great and it's the best thing ever. Those trimmers were like 25, 30 bucks and this thing is like $4. Reuse. A couple of choice words for you. Yeah, exactly. Binding was my fear for a while. Now I feel comfortable with it. Interesting. Of the thousands of quilts I have done over the years, I've never pressed my binding before I sew it down. I will have to try it and see if it may get different results. I've actually always done that, and I don't know why. I think it's because I've always had issues with my hands. So when it's flapped over, and then even when I was doing it by hand, it's just always trying to get it over there. So then by doing the ironing it down, that was before I even had the clips, I always just found it just folded over easy. So it doesn't have to be for machine binding. It could also be for hand binding. I have not ironed mine either. I will give it a try. Donnell's is similar. Yes, I will send you a picture of the binding spools. I use the eyebrow trimmer too. I have an electric and a manual one. I don't know what Nightbot. Oh, okay, because someone was doing something not great. And thank you. Must try it. Seems to make seam ripping easy. Yes, easier. That's why I was opting. If I find the butterfly quilt and it's not completely done with borders and everything, I may just take that electric seam ripper right to it, because I do like what Deb did with her quilt. She also even put these little, it looks like applique butterflies in her solid blocks. I don't know. Deb, you just did a fantastic job. I loved it. I really loved it. And I'm going to steal your idea from you because I loved it so much. I just have to find the quilt because I'm not making more butterflies. I know I have some. So everyone, it is way past my time, but I just wanted to show you a couple of hacks that I do with binding and how I do things here to finish off quilts, because I show you a heck of a lot of piecing, but I don't really show you. I even show you some quilting on my long arm, but I don't show you how I finish things off. So yes, I do finish things, because that was a question people did. Yes, I did put a couple of little butterflies. So everyone have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Pass it forward. And if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and please, on your way out, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button or that thumbs up button, I would so much appreciate it. Take care. See you soon. Oh yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'll see you tomorrow at 7. Take care. Bye.